Next, let's look at guidelines regarding maps. When you have any kind of location data, whether it's postal codes, state abbreviations, country names, or your own custom geocoding, you've got to see your data on a map. You wouldn't leave home to find a new restaurant without a map, or GPS anyway, would you? So demand the same informative view from your data visualization. Here are guidelines regarding maps. Showing geocoded data. For example, use maps to show insurance claims by state, product export destinations by country, car accidents by zip code, or custom sales territories. Use maps as a filter for further types of charts, graphs, and tables. Combine a map with other relevant data. Then use it as a filter to drill into your data for robust investigation and discussion. Layer bubble charts on top of maps. Bubble charts represent the concentration of data and their varied sizes, a quick way to understand relative data. By layering bubbles on top of a map, it is easy to interpret the geographical impact of different data points quickly. Next, let's look at guidelines regarding a scatter plot. Looking to dig a little deeper into some data, but not quite sure of how or if different pieces of information relate, scatter plots are an effective way to give you a quick sense of trends, concentrations, and outliers that will direct you to where you want to focus your investigation efforts further. Here are guidelines regarding scatter plots. Use a scatter plot when investigating the relationship between different variables. For example, male versus female likelihood of having lung cancer at different ages, or purchase patterns of smartphones by technology early adopters and laggards, or shipping costs of different product categories to different regions. Consider adding a trend line or line of best fit. By adding a trend line, the correlation among your data becomes more clearly defined. Incorporate filters. By adding filters to your scatter plots, you can drill down into different views and details quickly to identify patterns in your data. Use informative mark types. The story behind some data can be enhanced with a relevant shape. Next, let's look at guidelines regarding a Gantt chart. Gantt charts excel at illustrating the start and finish dates of elements of a project. Hitting deadlines is paramount to a project's success. Seeing what needs to be accomplished and by when is essential to making this happen. This is where a Gantt chart comes in. While most people associate Gantt charts with project management, they can be used to understand how other things such as people or machines vary over time. For example, you could use a Gantt chart to do resource planning or to see how long it took people to hit specific milestones, such as a certification level, and how that activity was distributed over time. Here are guidelines regarding Gantt charts. Use a Gantt chart when displaying a project schedule, for example, when illustrating key deliverables, owners, and deadlines. Showing other things in use over time, for example, duration of a machine's use or availability of players on a team. When adding color, changing the color of the bars within the Gantt chart quickly informs viewers about key aspects of the variable. Combine maps and other chart types with Gantt charts. Including Gantt charts in a dashboard with other chart types allows filtering and allows you to drill down to expand the insight provided. Next, let's look at guidelines regarding bubble charts. Bubbles are not their own type of visualization, but instead should be viewed as a technique to accentuate data on scatter plots or maps. People are drawn to using bubble maps because the varied size of circles provides meaning about the data. Here are guidelines regarding bubble charts. Used when showing the concentration of data along two axes. For example, sales concentration by product and geography, or class attendance by department and time of day. Use bubbles to accentuate data on scatter plots. By varying the size and color of data points, a scatter plot can be transformed into a rich visualization that answers many questions at once. Overlay bubbles on maps. Bubbles quickly inform a viewer about relative concentration of data. Using these as an overlay on map puts geographically related data in context quickly and effectively for a viewer.